لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم واخشوا يوما لا يجزي والد عن ولده ولا مولود هو جاز عن والده شيئا إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور إن الله عنده علم الساعة وينزل الغيث ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم خبير صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Luqman, the last two ayat. Ya ayyuhan nas, O people. So this includes the believers and the disbelievers. Ittaqu rabbakum, fear your Lord. Taqwa is translated here as fear, but when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the attribute of Him being Rabb, that means the fear should be that which is a fear of respect, that we are afraid of displeasing our very Kareem, very giving, very merciful Lord. All people, they should have reverence for Allah, their Lord, who has created them, who has provided for them, who nurtures them, who increases them in their capacity and provides for all their needs that they know and they do not know. Ya ayyuhan nas, ittaqu rabbakum wakhshaw yawman la yajzi walidun an waladih, and fear a day when no father will help his son. Wala mawludun huwa jazin an walidihi shay'a, nor will a son be helpful to his father at all. So this is about the day of the judgment, the hereafter, where everybody will be held accountable for what they did. May Allah make that day easy for us. No father will be able to help their son, although we see that a father's love is unconditional towards their children and they are willing to do whatever it takes for the betterment of their children. That is the reason why father helping the son has been mentioned before the son being helpful to their father. The love of children is never in any way comparable to the love that parents extend and shower towards their children. But even that love and that relationship will not be helpful at all on that day. This particularly is for those cases where a father may be a believer and the children may not be a believer, or the son may be a believer and the father is not a believer. Because we learn from the Quran itself that in other places Allah has said that those people who do good, their progeny, their children will be made to meet them if provided the children die on faith. So if somebody dies on faith, then Allah out of His mercy, this has been mentioned at multiple places in the Quran, that out of His mercy Allah will gather the families, gather the children with their parents, the parents with their children. But the condition is that each of them has to die on faith, on belief, on iman with Allah, upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna wa'adallahi haqq. So the promise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes, it's true. That promise that there will be a day of judgment, that there will be resurrection, it is true. Because the promise is true, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا, so beware that the life of this world should not deceive you. Do not be deceived by the beauties of this world. Do not forget about the hereafter. Do not forget about your Lord. Do not let this worldly life deceive you and make you forgetful. وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ, nor should you ever be deceived about Allah by the deceiver. The deceiver herein, it means the shaitan. So let not the worldly life and let not shaitan deceive you about Allah and about the day of judgment, a horrible day where nobody will be able to help anyone. Inna Allah indahu ilmus sa'ah. This last ayah contains the mafatihul ghaib. Talks about mafatihul ghaib, the keys of ghaib. The keys of ghaib only lie with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, indahu mafatihul ghaib. The knowledge of these keys of the unseen and the unknown lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first one mentioned here is the knowledge of the hour. That day which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, only Allah knows the exact time and hour of that day when it is going to come. وَيُنَزِّلُ الْغَيْثِ, and Allah sends down the rain. So Allah is the only one who knows exactly, precisely when will the rain start. وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ, and He knows what is in the wombs. Boy, girl, Allah knows. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا, no one knows what he will earn tomorrow. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ, and no one knows in which land will they die. So in these three phrases, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ, and the first one, وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that a human being is so miserable, a human being is so helpless that they have no idea about their beginning, they have no idea about their tomorrow, they have no idea about their end. That before birth, they do not know, nobody knows, is it going to be a boy or a girl. Something as direct or as immediate as tomorrow, nobody knows what they are going to do, nobody knows what they are going to earn, nobody knows what is going to happen to them. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ, and for the future, where, in what place a person is going to die, nobody knows. Allah has shown it to us many times that we see that a person lived in a land trying to die in that certain land, and then a time comes that they have to move from that land, or they're traveling and their death overtakes them while they are somewhere far away from where they intended to die. The knowledge only lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given this knowledge to anyone else. This ayah does not mean that only the knowledge of these five things is the knowledge of the unseen, but these are the keys or the prime things of ghaib. But there is many other things that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Some of those Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told to His some anbiya. And sometimes some other people also have an estimate or a guess, or sometimes they have an understanding and ilham from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah inspires it upon them that certain thing is going to happen in this way. But that knowledge is always, number one, not certain, not perfect. It can always happen against it. Similar is the case of our instruments and whatever we use to find out about these things, for example, weather forecast and the ultrasound and stuff. All of that, it is not certain, it is not perfect. Many times it goes wrong. The second thing is that knowledge is that knowledge, ilmul ghaib is that knowledge which is independent and free of means. A human being using instruments and devices can make a guess or a good educated guess about something that does not deserve to be called knowledge. Or a Nabi, when they tell something, it does not deserve to be called ilmul ghaib, rather it is the news of the unseen that they have got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and sometimes they give it to the people. But the real knowledge, the perfect, certain, unfaltering knowledge lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Inna Allah alimun khabir, surely Allah is all knowing, all aware. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those who understand and practice upon the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept these sessions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the completion of Surah Luqman, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive the shortcomings. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.